Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot, black female, openly gay mayor, ran last year, replaced Rahm Emanuel 2 years ago, about to celebrate her second anniversary, basically her midterm of her 4-year run, and making news because she just came out and said that she wants to prioritize doing interviews, one-on-one interviews, to commemorate her second year in office with journalists who are black and brown. Not exclusively, but prioritize that. And some people, Sharon, aren't too happy about that.
Yeah, the white reporters in Chicago are furious, but that's exactly her point. And I don't know, I went to school in Chicago, very segregated city, very racist city, like a lot of cities in America. I love Chicago, I love the food there, I love the people, but what I just said is true, okay? That's what Chicago is. And I don't know, in fact, I do know, this openly gay black woman has not always been treated fairly by the press. Her contention is most of the people covering her are white and they're men. Not all, but too many. There's not enough diversity in the press corps in Chicago. So what she said is, it's my second anniversary. I want to prioritize one-on-one. We'll go to black and brown reporters. Oh, can you imagine how dark? How dare she? And here's part of her statement. She released it and it was pretty raw. It's too heavy a burden to bear, on top of all the other massive challenges our city faces in this moment, to also have to take on the labor of educating white, mostly male media about implicit bias. I don't have time for it. So really what she's saying is, I can show you better than I can tell you, right? And I don't have a problem with it. What I do have a problem with is all these white reporters, even white Latin reporters, barking back at her, saying that, well, we're not going to do this. Even one Latin reporter was granted an interview. I'm going to see if I can find him real quick. And he said, he asked her to lift it. He canceled it, right? He said, I'm a Latino reporter. This is Gregory Pratt, who I'd love to have on the show, Gregory Pratt. And he said his interview request was granted. Right there he is. And however, I asked the mayor's office to lift the conditions and others, and when they said no, we respectfully canceled. Politicians don't get to choose who covers them. Gregory, how long have you been in the business? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? We're not talking about covering her, because we can cover her. I'm in Atlanta and I'm covering her right now. She's talking about granting one-on-one interviews. And guess what? Every president, every city council person, every gas station attendant, you do get to pick who covers you in that way. May not be right, may not always agree with it. Some people get exclusives. I got many of those in my day. Okay, I was a pretty good reporter. Okay, I wanted everything exclusive to the point where it was a little obnoxious. That said, they do get to cover it. Gregory, how long have you been in the business? Okay, here's the rub. The minute your white privilege puts you not even at the back of the bus where you can't see, they can still cover her. She just said, I'm not doing one-on-one. The minute your white privilege doesn't work fully for you, mostly white media, Chicago, suddenly you are just incensed. How dare she? She dared do it. She could, and she did. You want to cover Rahm Emanuel? You want to talk about who does what he want to do? Okay? Mayor Daley? Okay? You want to talk about Mayor Daley? That's a bad one, just like his father. You want to talk about how he ran the city of Chicago and who he allowed to cover him and gave exclusives and one-on-one to? So this whole thing is a farce, and I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed in people like Charles Whitaker, Medill School of Journalism. I have my master's degree from there. I'd like you to come on the show. This is a slippery slope. No, it's not. Why would she ever even have to do this, Mike Hill? Why would this ever be an issue in the first place? Right? And they're saying she just wants to whitewash and get her record and have people cover her favorably. Well, that happens every day too, by the way. I don't know what her motivation is. I don't care. Because the premise is, if the Chicago press corps is too white, too male by design, I lived in Chicago. There's a couple other national reporters who came out of Chicago who will tell you the same thing. Then we can stop there. If her premise is correct, that most of the people who cover her in City Hall are white and male, I don't care what her motivation is. Fix it. What she's saying is institutional racism, implicit bias, it's rampant inside the newsroom, and the storytelling is everything. I'll give you the last few minutes of it because I don't.
No, you're fine. Hey, look, you're doing what you got to do. That's fine. I will say this, and I'm gonna play devil's advocate for a second here. And I understand exactly what you're saying, and you're exactly right. No, I'm not pushing back. I'm just going to play devil's advocate because she wants to give priority to black and brown reporters, which is good. We saw, like you said, other politicians doing the same thing. They won't come out and directly say it, although we know they do it, i.e. Donald Trump, when he went to Fox News all the time, would never come on something like BNC, would never go on CNN or MSNBC, would never do anything like that. So he wasn't going to get his word out that way. But if he does it for Mayor Lightfoot right now, when it comes to the black community in Chicago, she is not very well liked, to be quite honest with you. Her tenure in the first 2 years has been very disappointing. And I've seen tweets from people that live in Chicago, people right now protesting outside her home, from what I understand, because of her stance when it comes to the police force there, giving money to the police force, not giving enough money to the schools, fighting against minimum wage and other things, poor pandemic response. And yeah, she says a lot of it has had to do with the pandemic. And yes, you can blame a lot of that on the pandemic for a lot of politicians around the nation. But maybe if she is interviewed by black and brown journalists in Chicago, I don't know if she's going to like the coverage, to be quite honest with you. So there might be some pushback on that as well. So as far as what she's saying and what she's doing, I get it when it comes to that. When she says it's overwhelming whiteness and maleness, sometimes the white media does not appreciate or understand or doesn't want to understand what's going on in the black community. And they put out their own rhetoric, they put out their own way of doing things or whatnot, and put out their own message. And sometimes it's believed that way. So I get it. I understand where she's coming from. I don't think I would have come out and directly said it because this is that controversy that's coming out of it, but just do it and not have to say it. And then people can see what you're doing and they can just, make their own decisions. But yeah, I don't think if you have black journalists in that city that's really looking at what the black community is going through in that city, from what I understand, she might not like the coverage that she's going to get from the black and brown journalists in that city if they're doing their job. That's the bottom line.
Well, I think you said a lot, and I take some of the points, right? Number one, why would white media understand? Okay, why would they understand? Look how they covered Trump. They actually carved out, they sliced it up like a spiral ham, this little part here where he's an overt, disgusting racist and a liar. And then they pointed for the first 3.5 years to all these other issues as if he's not married to the rest, right? It's like he's rotten to the core. So why would they understand? I don't think I can go there with you on the why be so overt about it? Why not be a little more covert? I'm for the get your knee off my neck approach, because they're not getting it, and we can show you better than we can tell you. Okay, this is what's happening. You go to the end of the line this time. Can we stipulate that she's not the greatest mayor? I don't know, but I'll unpack the issues if I need to. Not good on schools, not good on police, not good on the pandemic. Black people don't like her. There's a myth that black reporters can't do their job like white reporters do and be fair and hard and tough to another black politician. Can we stipulate that maybe she's not a good mayor? Who cares? Is the press corps covering her mostly white and male? If it is, we can stop there. We can stop right there. Because what she's saying, whatever her motivation is, don't matter to me. If that's the case, on this day for this one issue, who cares about basically year 2 of her administration, frankly? I mean, is that really that big of a treat? But whatever, I guess one-on-one I can ask whatever I want. Who cares? Right. Okay. These white mayors been doing it. Sharon. White newsrooms.
Think about this too. Okay, so let's look at that. Is it the white media's fault? Yes, it is, because they're not putting black and brown reporters from these news organizations on the beat to cover.
No, they don't have any. Office. They don't have enough. They don't have any. Okay. Look at
exactly. So that's what I'm saying. So they need to. So we need to go deeper and find out the root of the issue and go, hey, you know what? There needs to be more coverage. Chicago is the 3rd largest city in the world. I mean, in the country,
and
right?
It's disgustingly
and it's a large black population. And like you just said, so when you're talking about a black gay mayor that is there, and there should be gay reporters, there should be black reporters, there should be Latino reporters, there should be a large swath of reporters to represent that community.
But if there's not, like, why shouldn't they be punished? See, what she's doing is really punishing them. She's trying to show you, if you don't do the right thing, you'll be punished. You'll be on the outside looking in the window.
Maybe it goes
Mayor,
deeper. So,
can we
so
come
we need to
in,
go to
Mayor?
the WGNs.
That's all I'm saying.
Who else? All the the newspapers
that's
in
what
Chicago.
She's doing.
Everybody,
she's
they need to do a better job.
them.
Exactly. Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
And that's,
so maybe they'll
why,
think about the hiring processes they need.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Anyway,
okay.
I want her. Can we get her on too, as we like do the show in real time? And we've said we're gonna get Red Grant on. Jasmine, can we get Mayor Lightfoot on? Because let's just ask her. Why don't we just go to the source? Since we're black,
and that's the thing.
Maybe she'll show up here and give us a one-on-one.
She should. I would expect to see. I'm gonna tell you right now. I will expect to see Lori Lightfoot on BNC. If it's not on SYD,
don't care how early
it is on one of our shows on the network. Yes, I want to.
That's right.
This is black media right here. This is the Black News Channel.
That's right.
So if you want your story covered the way you want it covered by black people, prioritize, come to the Black News Channel. And that goes not just for Lori Lightfoot, that goes for entertainers out there, that goes for politicians out there, that goes for everybody. Don't run to the other networks. I mean, of course you're going to get.
I want you.
Yep. Look, you're going to get your coverage around the nation, but once again, you need to support us the way we support you. Bottom line. So talk is cheap.
And we're going to ask you real questions.
And do the interviews.
Talk is cheap.
Exactly. Yeah.